Sometimes in a piece of writing, we can hardly resist putting in our 2 cents, our personal opinions, our little side stories that maybe don't exactly connect with the topic we're writing about, but we want to tell our readers so badly. Today's move is going to help us do that. It's going to help us blend the formal and the informal. It's going to help us connect with readers. It's going to help us add voice to our writing, and it's going to give us a space where we can say those little side comments we've been dying to say. Today's move is personal parentheses. Let's take a look at an example of personal parentheses by writer Eric Deggans writing about The Godfather for NPR. John Belushi did an amazing impression of Marlon Brando as Corleone, and he was playing the Don in a group therapy session with Elliot Gould as the therapist. Laraine Newman was decked out in a blonde wig and Valley Girl accent for the sketch from SNL's first season dubbed Godfather Therapy, telling Belushi's Corleone, "Please reach out, man." One of my favorite lines from that sketch: "Now the feds are watching me, investigating me. The ASPCA is after me about this horse thing." So in this moment, Eric Deggans is giving us some evidence about The Godfather's lasting legacy. And he's talking about how it was even immortalized in an SNL sketch. And he gives us a paragraph explaining that sketch, fleshing it out for us so that we can better understand what happens. But you can tell he's dying to say something else. Something that doesn't necessarily further his thesis statement, something that isn't necessarily evidence of the point he's trying to make. But because Eric Deggans is writing to us, he really, really wants us to know. So below, in parentheses, he adds a personal statement, a little personal aside. He says, one of my favorite lines from that sketch, and that use of the first person, my, is how we know that this is something different, that these are his personal ideas that are separate from the ideas that he's trying to promote in this greater article. The parentheses are a signal to us that this is something else. This doesn't really go with the main idea. You can kind of take it or leave it. You don't have to read it. But if you want to dive in with him, you get to learn a little tidbit about his own personality and his own life as a viewer of SNL. Then he gets right back to the main point, right? He ends the parentheses and jumps back in to his focus on The Godfather. Now, something I want you to notice here, in addition to the fact that he puts it in parentheses, telling us that this is an aside, this is not part of his main argument, but this is something else. This is also one sentence. That's it. It does not go on for a paragraph or multiple paragraphs. He doesn't get totally sidetracked about all of his favorite parts about SNL. It's a tiny moment of personal intrusion into this more formal piece of writing. You'll notice the same when you look at our other examples today. You'll notice that they are brief, sometimes not even a complete sentence. Little interruptions of the personal into the professional. Let's take a look at where some other writers use personal parentheses. Do you have an extra little tidbit that you are just dying to include, even though you know it doesn't support your main point? Where could you use parentheses and the first person to give a short sentence or just a phrase, just a few words that inserts your own personality into the piece? Where can you connect with readers? Where can you show the human behind your writing by giving a little extra anecdote, a little extra opinion, a little extra story, and a very brief personal parentheses? Thanks so much for watching Mini Moves for Writers. We hope that you'll subscribe so that you don't miss any future moves.